Share a little bit more information about an investigation that we've been working on since the weekend. Just as a background on this, the shooting occurred on Saturday, shortly after 3 p.m. in the 4300 block of Sunset Road. Officers responded to the reports of the shooting, and when they got there, they found a 10-year-old girl seriously injured. She was taken to the hospital, where she remains with very, very grievous injuries, serious life-threatening injuries. Due to this the nature of the incident, the homicide unit responded to conduct the investigation. I just want to be clear, this little girl is still in the hospital. She is alive, but she has suffered some very grievous wounds and is still recovering. These are potentially life-altering injuries. We would like to share with you a little bit about this little girl. We're going to put her picture up here for you, just so you guys can see her. We'll also share these images with you after we're done today. Her name is Cherish. Her mother tells us that she's her shining star. Cherish is a loving child. She cares about people. She enjoys making people laugh and helping them out however she can. She enjoys just being out and about with, her friends and family and loving life like all little girls do. Cherish loves to ride her bike. She loves to sing and to dance and traveling with her family and just, like I said, being out with them every day. That's what was going on Saturday. She was out with her family when this happened. It's difficult for me to put into words how upsetting this case really is. This little girl, this isn't just a parent's worst nightmare, right? This is something a parent shouldn't have to imagine happening to their child. I mean, this is beyond our worst nightmares. I can't imagine how her family must feel today. And that's why it's important that we get the help from the community. So our preliminary investigation shows that Cherish and her mother were at the car wash when an unknown subject approached on foot and opened fire. It wasn't just Cherish and her mother out there. I mean, Cherish certainly couldn't have been the intended target of this attack. There were many people out there, and their lives were all put in jeopardy because of this person's act. We know that person fled on foot, so we believe that they're likely from the area, and we feel like people in the community probably have information that's important to us. There's no piece of information that's too small. While we talked with witnesses and canvassed for video and we're continuing to collect information in this investigation, we clearly don't have the information that we need to successfully bring this person into custody, and that's why we're coming before you again, asking for the community to come through for us like they have so many times before. Cherish and her mother and her family should have been able to be out on a Saturday afternoon enjoying life and not have to worry about this happening. I think that our community members should feel the same way and not want this person who's responsible for this out in their community. We don't need people's names or information when they call us. We don't need their names. We don't care. We just want their information. It's critical that they provide us that information so they can contact us in the usual ways at 704-334-1600 or 704-432-TIPS. We do not need your name. We really need your information. I'll answer any questions that you guys may have about this case right now.
Is she a CMS student?
I'm not going to get into any specifics beyond her first name. We agreed. We talked to the family. They agreed to let us share her image and her first name, but usually we protect the information of our juvenile victims. I just think it's really important that people understand that this isn't just a shooting. I mean, this is a real victim. This is a young girl whose life has been impacted by this and probably changed forever because of it.
Do you have any reason to believe that her mother was the intended target, or that?
We don't think so. As I said, the person came to the parking lot and they opened fire. It could have struck anybody there, but we don't have any specific information as to that. But we, again, need any information anyone has to be very helpful.
Was there any kind of conversation or anything that transpired prior to the shooting that would give you some hint as to why this happened?
Not that we're aware of, and that's why it's important that we get that information to provide further context to this. As I said, we've gotten a lot of information. We know kind of about some of the general movements of the gunman when he arrived, but it doesn't appear that there was any direct interaction with anyone before he opened fire on just a crowded parking lot, basically.
Is it possible that this was mistaken identity or anything like that?
At this point, we're open to all options and following up on every possibility. But to your point, I don't think they were targeting Cherish specifically, mistaken or otherwise.
Seems like younger children are becoming victims more often. What solutions is CMPD looking into?
Well, we obviously take an offender-based approach. In this case, our offender is the gunman responsible for this, and we're going to pursue the people that are responsible for violence in our community and hold them accountable.
Have you guys had any kind of issues at that particular car wash with robberies or any other crimes that this could be related to or connected to?
Not that I'm aware of. We can look about historical crime trends, but nothing that's likely related to this incident at all. This should have been a otherwise safe place for her to be on a Saturday afternoon.
So how frustrating a case is this for you guys to work on, given the age of the victim and how little that you have to work with?
It's incredibly frustrating. All of us are parents, or many of us are parents. All of us are children. We have family members that are Cherish's age or have been, and it's really difficult for us as investigators, for us as police officers responding to see victims at this young age. Innocent kids that are falling victim to gun violence. It should never happen, and I think it should similarly trouble our community, and that's really why we need help with solving this one.
Is there any video surveillance that CMPD is looking into?
We certainly are following up on a lot of leads, but I don't want to get into specifics of what information we have now, just that we really, really need more.
Are the people working at the car wash being helpful in this investigation?
We have a lot of people that have been helpful. Again, I don't want to get into specifics. We've got a lot of people that are doing their best, but clearly we don't have that piece of information that's critical in making an arrest in this case yet, and that's, again, why we asked for your help.
Since it was a busy Saturday, how many people were at the car wash? Do you have an idea?
I'm not sure about the exact number, but there was a good number of people, a fair number of people were out there, and many of them have spoken with us.
What's the name of the car wash?
I don't have that for you off the top of my head. We can find out.
Getting into a little bit, I guess, of the crime scene, just from what I could see, you couldn't really tell whether shots had been fired into the car. So given that, would the person, the perpetrator, would he have been able to get close enough to see that there were kids in that car?
Anyone who was out in this parking lot should have seen there were families, there were innocent people present. I say innocent, no one deserves to have anything happen to them, but people that were unaffiliated with whatever their situation was, whatever their goal was in going there, were going to be in jeopardy when they opened fire in this parking lot. Yeah, you couldn't have missed it.
What message do you have to the person that did this?
That we're looking for you, and we'd love for you to do the right thing and come explain to us, provide us with context, for Cherish and for her family about why this happened. But aside from that, we really are hoping that the community will help tell us who that person is so we can talk to them.
In general terms, could you say something about the little girl in terms of, you mentioned she's possibly going to have some lifelong injuries. Would this inhibit her ability to walk, or are there some general things you could say about how this might affect her?
I can tell you right now, they're serious injuries. It's really early on. I hope that you and everybody else will be with me in praying for her recovery. So I don't know what her prognosis is long term. I'm praying for a great recovery, but even just emotionally, this has got to have a tremendous impact on you lifelong. This isn't something that happens to a 10-year-old and is easily forgotten.
Where was she shot?
I'm not going to get into the specifics of her medical injuries.
Any other questions for the lieutenant outside specifics of the case? I do need to get him back to work as he continues to work this very important case. Again, as we come to the community, to our media partners in the room, we are going to follow up with a release that's going to provide you with this photograph as well as an additional photograph, as well as all those contact measures that our community can use to provide this team of detectives the information they need to keep working this case.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.